attending our Veterans Day program.
We are glad you are all here to celebrate this important holiday with us.
We would like to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Color guard advance. Hand salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard post colors. Color guard dismissed.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed by Annabeth Schultz, a former Heritage Elementary student.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the Great job, everybody. Please be seated.
Kindergarten, we have to be quiet, friends.
Veterans Day is a holiday we celebrate to show thanks for veterans.
Veterans are men and women who served in the armed forces in our country.
This means that they are a part of the U.S. military.
Veterans include those who were in the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, or Marine.
It takes bravery and honor to serve in the U.S. military. Many people in our military need to travel far from their families for long periods of time.
They miss holidays, birthdays, and special family events.
The members of our military also risk their lives as they work in very dangerous. They do it because they know that their job is important to keeping our country safe.
Veterans Day is celebrated on November 11th.
The reason it is celebrated on the 11th is because the fighting in World War I ended on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour.
On Veterans Day, many people choose to honor veterans in different ways.
Schools, post office, banks, and many other businesses close to take the day off to honor our Veterans Day.
We are proud to honor our veterans here in this program today.
Now, Heritage Elementary School will be performing Celebrate America, then followed by We Will Not Forget.
We
Our Eagle Council students will now recite a Veterans Day tribute.
V is for valor. Valor is another word for courage or bravery. Our veterans are very brave enough to stand for what is right and fight for our freedom.
Thank you for the valor you have shown as you serve and continue to serve our country.
E is for example. Our veterans set a good example for all Americans. Thank you for being great examples and role models for us and future generations of Americans.
T is for time. Time spent away from families, friends, missing the births of children and holidays. Thank you for the time you have given to serve our great country.
E is for excellence, serving our country. Each veteran gives his or her very best.
Thank you for the excellent service and unwavering bravery.
R is for readiness. Our veterans are ready to go whenever they are called upon. Thank you for your willingness and flexibility to do whatever it takes at a moment's notice. A is for allegiance. Our veterans are loyal to the United States of America, even when it's difficult or painful.
Thank you for your honor and patriotism.
N is for nobleness. Our veterans make the right decisions in honor of our country.
Thank you for being ready to make tough decisions that fight for freedom.
S is for sacrifice. Our veterans give themselves for our future. Thank you, American veterans, for your sacrifice, nobleness, allegiance, readiness, excellence, time, example, and valor. We are proud of you.
If I could have a wish with all of my heart, I wish for peace to start. If I could
Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner almost 200 years ago, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Boys and girls, I want you guys to know that the people who are standing are some of the bravest people you will meet. They're some of the most honorable people that you will meet. And if they're a part of your family, you need to talk to them and ask them stories about their service, because it's some of the most precious moments you will ever have. Throughout this nation's history, American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American servicemen who died in battle. Boys and girls, they go into battle not knowing if they'll return, because they know how important it is to have the freedoms that we have today. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans who are still living today. These words are inscribed on the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C. It says, "Our nation honors her sons and daughters who answered the call to defend a country that they never knew and a people that they never met." These words could be given to any of the wars that have been fought. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Gulf War, the Iraqi War. They apply today to today's active duty. We have people here in our midst, brothers and dads. I saw a lot of that, family members who are currently active in the military, who are helping to maintain peace throughout the world. Today, students, it's really a privilege that we get to say thank you to these veterans. It's our privilege and our right to even be at school today because of these veterans. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to actually pay it, but we can thank the veterans that are in this room and the veterans that we meet for keeping this nation the land of the free and the home of the brave. So before I continue, students, out of respect and honor, will you give our veterans one more round of applause? Thank you guys very much. So for those of you who are new to our school, like I said before, I'm a military brat and I am proud of it. I loved being a part of traveling the world and getting to see and meet new people. When I was your age, when I was in second grade, I lived in Germany and I got to meet new friends who spoke different languages. I got to learn how to speak German. I got to go into homes of people who had different traditions and customs that I had. And I got to learn how to work through those differences and really become great friends. That is something that I treasure, even as a principal. When I meet new people, part of the reason that you see Miss Robertson every morning going, "Good morning, how are you, how's it going?" is because I got to meet so many people when I traveled in the military, when my dad was in the military. Because my dad was in the military, but I also had to kind of see him go away at times. And some of you guys have had to do that. Some of your brothers are currently stationed away. We think about them often. I know you guys talk about them. I was just standing next to a student as we were watching the slideshow, and he said, "That's my uncle." I was like, "I know, how cool is that? Like, how proud are you that that's your uncle?" And those are the moments that are priceless here in a school. We have the right to be in school today because of the veterans. We have the right to vote this week because of our veterans. We have the right to walk our foot in the door because of our veterans. Boys and girls, I know it's hard to imagine, but there are boys and girls around the world who cannot go to school. They don't have the privilege of coming to learn like you guys do because they don't have the same freedoms that we have. One of my favorite moments with my dad is listening to stories of his service time. I love listening when he came back from the Persian Gulf War, not about the war part of it, but about the people that he met. I love listening to him tell a story that he went over a hill and there were close to 50 to 100 people that should have captured my dad. They should have taken him back and he would have been a prisoner of war. But instead, they put their hands in the air and surrendered because they were looking for the bald man. My dad did not have much hair. And so they were looking for the bald man because they knew the bald man would help them find food. Those are the stories that I love hearing and love listening to my dad tell, because they were people trying to find it and make it, and they were helping them to get food. When I was a teacher here in our county in 5th grade, I loved having one of our veterans, who's still living today, he lives in Franklin, come speak to my class. He was in Pearl Harbor when Pearl Harbor was bombed. His ship was bombed, and if you think about a ship, it's a huge vessel, and it was horizontal like this, but when it got bombed, it went vertical. His whole thing all night long was he was at the very tip of this ship, holding on. Not only was he holding on, but he was trying to get all the men that were with him and the women that were with him to hold on as well, saying, you can do this. You have families you're going back to. You got to hold on. Do not let go. And he saved so many men and women because of his encouragement. If you have a veteran in your family, I really encourage you to sit and say, hey, Grandpa, hey, brother, hey, Dad, tell me some of the stories. Tell me why you serve, because they're very priceless moments. One of the things that I would also encourage is students, we can learn from our veterans. Just like my dad was helping people, and just like the gentleman was helping people to hold on and encourage, we can do that. Our veterans are leaders. We talk all the time about being HES leaders, showing respect, showing teamwork, showing responsibility, and being nice. The best way that we can honor these veterans is not only today, but to live that and to show them that we appreciate all that they've done for us and to be the leaders that they are. They're examples for us. So, to finish out, I'd like to read a poem that kind of sums up, I wish I could put it all in words, but it says, on Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old, they fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others have died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of our red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all our veterans just the same. So students, at this time, I'm going to ask you to stand and face our veterans. I'm going to ask you at this time if you will give the most thunderous applause we have ever heard in this gym for our veterans. Thank you, guys. You may be seated.